to the channel, DIY everything. Before I get too deep into this project that I'm doing, I want to give you guys a short introduction of what I got going on, why I'm doing it, and where I'm going with it. So here we go. This is a 91 Fleetwood Bounder motorhome. This is my Savannah Coville. Coville, say hi. Coville, say hi. Anyway, so the whole point of the aluminum was to fix de-lamination. I had severe de-lamination problem all the way around this thing from water. So when I initially fixed the bottom and installed the aluminum, I did not have the money for stainless steel hardware. So I used what I could, which was zinc plated, and after a year and a half, that's what it looked like. It looks terrible. So I'm pulling it all out, replacing it all with stainless steel, like we got right there. Make it look nice and shiny. See that? I can't stand the way that looks. After all that hard work I did, and then for it to look like crap, it bugs me. So I'm redoing that. While I'm in here, I'm gonna fix these splits. That's just got silicone on it to keep water out of it. But that right here, see that yellow? I clipped a pole coming out of Flying J truck stop, refilling my propane. See some more evidence there. I just took that off so I can get in there, but I'm gonna fix this in the same manner. I'm gonna fiberglass resin all behind here, seal it back up. Fiberglass short strand body filler this and down here, and then we're gonna cap it with some aluminum 2" by 8" aluminum corners, and then I'm gonna do aluminum side trim all the way down and take that body trim off just like this. And I gotta replace these screws with stainless steel because they look like that. So that's what I'm gonna try to get done before we leave for this trip. We have a load to take to our property. We're gonna start clearing for a log cabin build. I gotta take my equipment and tools and say hi, Isaiah. We're gonna take our tools and some of our equipment, and we're leaving in 13 days, so I might not be able to get the the gel coat done before then, but I'll at least be able to get it all sealed up. I plan on gel coating this back corner, but that's what I got going on for now. So before I get too deep into it, I just wanted to start the video, and then we'll continue. Everybody else has had the issue with the lower side delaminating on the inside and the outside, as I have. Not so much up top, but my lower panel, either from not having mud flaps and the water flinging up on the back. The RV came from Delaware, so you know, salty air, salt water. I recommend not to buy any RVs that were close to the shore or close to any bodies of salt water. You're asking for trouble. So anyway, I'll get into the whole thing at some point or another, but part of my ways to fix the de-lamination was to I reglassed everything on both sides of the foam, and then used aluminum to clamp it all together. It's holding up pretty good. I mean, I replaced some of the lower sections that was so rusted out. I'll replace it with square tube aluminum channel. Show you what it looks like on the back side. Let's see. There you go. It was bad. It was so bad. Some places this rusted completely through. If you take a look over there, I removed everything, including the foam. Replaced that whole inner wall. I used marine plywood on the back side facing us, and I used fiberglass resin to paint over it, and I'll probably go over top of that with sheet metal. I was thinking about painting it with black flex rubber paint, flex seal paint. I have to see how good it holds up, but if it holds up really well, I may not do any sheet metal over it. Just do that and put another piece of aluminum angle bracket up in that whole corner all the way across the top. This side wasn't so bad, so I did not have to do that. Plus that was a big job. I did not want to get into that again. Oh man, I've made so many repairs to this thing and done so much. Stick around and, you know, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and try to get you guys straightened out like I'm trying to get myself straightened out. You know, I was sold the RV and was told everything worked. There was no de-lamination, good shape. You know, I paid a fair price. The more I dug into it, the more I feel like I got screwed at to some extent, but you know, maybe not. The price was pretty good, but I mean, I'm an auto body technician. I'm not a RV repair guy. I am now, but I wasn't an RV repair guy. So a lot of this stuff is new to me. You know, I have extensive background on mechanics and auto body. I know how things work. I know how to fix stuff, but this was definitely a new challenge for sure. That is where I keep my my sewer drain tube. We can get into that in another episode, but just showing y'all what it is. So what I'll do here is, this will be the outside, this will be the inside. I'll drill all the way through and then use 1/4 bolts and clamp it all together after I fiberglass both sides. You know, run a paintbrush in there with fiberglass resin. Get as much in there as I can without being too sloppy, and then clamp it all together with nuts and bolts. And I'll caulk this both sides, a load of caulk, and I'm using Loctite Marine caulk, fast dry. All right, so we're going to use the aluminum angle and aluminum flat bar to secure the filon. That's what they call the siding. It's a fiberglass, I think polyester fiberglass blend, and they call it filon. We'll use the aluminum to secure that to the side of the motorhome while we're waiting for the fiberglass epoxy resin to dry or to cure. Once all that's done, we're going to repair the cracks in the siding with short strand fiberglass body filler. I'm gonna pre-drill all my holes to make it much easier to work with and save time on the video. I'm just a one-man operation right now, as usual, so pre-drilling my holes makes things much easier, as I don't have nobody there to hold anything for me, hold a tape measure or anything. I'm just, most of the time. I guess let's get started with that. I'm using a new, oh yeah, once I pre-drill my holes, I'm going to use an eraser wheel to remove the adhesive behind the old molding. That way we can get the aluminum to sit nice and flush and there's nothing, nothing behind it. The eraser wheel works great for, it's the best tool to use for removing any adhesive from a painted or fiberglass surface, as well as vinyl decals and vinyl emblems or any of that. There was these hideous green stripes that went around this whole thing. I took them all off with an eraser wheel. This is a air tool, a pneumatic tool that's used specifically for, actually this is just one of the attachments. It's called a crud thug, and it usually has a wire wheel on it that I use for cleaning metal off, undercoating, or anything that needs to be cleaned off prior to weld or paint. But it also has a eraser wheel attachment. They also sell these eraser wheels that you can put in the end of a drill or any kind of rotary tool. Yeah, let's get the holes pre-drilled, and I'm going to use a setting that I don't use very often just to save time and try to get this done. I'm running short on daylight hours, and I don't have many good days of weather this week. Today's Tuesday. Wednesday's going to be fairly decent. Thursday's going to rain, so I'm trying to get all this stuff buttoned up by then. So I'm going to use a setting on my camera called time warp, where I can jump back and forth from standard speed to time lapse. And let's get it. Alright, so if you have an assistant, it makes for a much easier, much better time. If you could see the way I was drilling my holes and putting my screws in right away as I was moving down the line, it's because I've already done this before on other portions of the RV. And I know that if you skip around and you don't put all your screws in, you end up with a loose spot in the middle, like a little flop, a little bow. So you fasten it as you go, and it keeps that from happening. We're going to peel this back, mix up some fiberglass resin, and paint it all in there and seal it back up. So you want to keep acetone handy, because this is what you want to clean all your stuff with. You want to put your brush in it, and any mess you make, this will clean it up. I may have made a little mistake. I should have cut my angle into pieces so that I could do it in sections, and I did not do that yet. So I'm gonna see if I can, maybe I got a sawzall with a hacksaw blade close by. We can knock that out real quick. Jackpot. Glad I had this thing close by because we don't have much time. Okay, had I not had this extra piece, I would not be sectioning it. I'm only sectioning it because this is an extra piece, and I didn't, or I would have been trying to get help from somebody. Luckily, I have that extra piece. You want to make sure you wear gloves because this stuff is a mess. I'm trying to work quick as I can. Let's see, where'd my hardener go? 40 drops per ounce. I mean 10 drops per ounce. We got 4 ounces. 4, 6, 7. I'm not looking for this thing to come out like you know, I guess like new, you know, but we want it to look good, look decent and appealing and serve its purpose, but it ain't going to be perfect. This one I'll try to at least just get my top panel done on up to the corner, and then we'll put our angle aluminum in, and then we'll deal with the bottom and the crack. And you want to try to paint both sides if you can reach them. To make sure you get a real good adhesion. And then there's a little gap on the corner. We'll seal that up with caulk when we do our final aluminum angle. And if you ever had to do this yourself, there will be stuff that you have to... I'm doing a video. Stop. Don't throw that. Come on. Why would you throw a football at me up here? Anyway, that's my my 9-year-old, Isaiah. starting to question whether I should have tried one side at a time. The other times when I use this, it was just on the bottom, all the way around the edges. And I do have video of that. I just haven't edited it and posted it yet, but maybe I'll incorporate it into this if I have time. Got so much going on right now, trying to get ready for this. Trying to get ready to take a load to our property. It's 5 hours away. Got a lot of work to do because I'm trying to chop down and peel as many logs as I can while I'm there. We're going to do a traditional log cabin build. Clean off the siding. That's another thing you want to do. You want to clean up your mess as you go, because the longer you let that resin set up, the harder it is to clean off. It's not too bad when you're working with it before it cures. so it seems to be going pretty good so far. Let's see. Now that piece of aluminum was damaged. That's a $50 piece of aluminum. I wouldn't have freaking cut it in half like that had it not been damaged. I would have had to figure out something else. I probably would have been just as good off putting a couple freaking screws in it. It wasn't badly damaged. I could have definitely used it, but it's not summertime, but I've worked with this stuff in the summertime, and it's kind of scary how fast it hardens up on you. I got two 4-foot sections of it. I'll find some use for it. Alright, get back on time lapse. Fill that in and then screw that corner in. Screw that top piece off and let it get set up. I guess that's what I get for using Harbor Freight drill bits. That was a spare drill bit pack that I keep in the motorhome, and I was being not really lazy, but my good drill bits that I keep in my toolbox, all my small sizes are broken or lost. But I keep a good set of bits for high strength steel, and since this was aluminum, I figured I could use them Harbor Freight bits, but for the other side the same length as I did on this side, because I have a little bit of de-lamination on the back. Have a little bit of de-lamination about 6 foot up from the back corner, where the trim molding I guess came loose from the adhesive, and it allowed water to get behind it. So I'm going to dump some epoxy resin down in there and seal it up the same way I did this back corner. Alright, so here's the finished product. Installed the new stainless steel hardware after I got rid of that zinc hardware that rusted out on me in less than, I don't know, less than a year, I guess. I still got to do the gel coat but that's a video for another day. That looks so much better than I think even than what was on there from the beginning, and better than that rubber trim. I never did get around to that crack yet, but I will be working on that soon. But I did get my LED tail lights. Yeah, I like the aluminum even better than the old corners that were on it. I especially like that side trim better than that rubber body side molding. So thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us and subscribe. I have a lot to come. Ride along with us and we'll see where this channel goes. If you'd like to support the channel, I have my PayPal link in the description, and I'm still working on a GoFundMe that I have to share the link, and that's it. God bless everyone watching, and thank you for joining us.